We now get underway with our penultimate final here in Karting d'Espagne. It is the senior Rotax final, a capacity 36 strong grid. Here's your starting order. After a clean sweep over the past 4 heats so far, Gilles looks to do the clean sweep of all his races this weekend, as he starts from pole position. Devian Horst could be one to factor in here on this race. He starts on the outside row. It's an all-British row 2 with Sean Butcher and Mark Kimber occupying both 3rd and 4th position. It's an all-German row 3 with Austin Lee and Farin Mega. Belgium and France on row 4 with Vic Stevens and Jules Roussel. Kai Hunter and the pride of Scotland, Lewis Gilbert, will be on row number 5, completing the top 10. Finland's Miska Kaskinen will be joined on row 6 by Ethan Jeff Hall from the UK. Tommy van der Stroys, Monty Gomassen, Elia Papasina, Paul Volkwemin, Jaden Thien, Mitch Haynert, Matthew Sterlo, William Christensen. They round out the top 20. Lauren Ligor, Patrick Donica, Matty Higgins, Nolan Emery, Dion Van Verven, Paul Crisel, Magic Himera, James Swindells, Lachlan Robinson and Sebastian Bach round out the top 30. Completing the 36 strong grid, it's Maxence Bouvier, Robbie Studder, Kamal Murad, Matteo Pianetola, Zsombor Kovac not taking part due to injuring his ribs. And Archie Walker will be starting. Looks like Lauren Legault might not also be participating in this race, so we could be down to 34 drivers. Archie Walker being the first retiree in the pre-final earlier on today. So Devian Horst will have to line up alongside Kai Gilles at the front of the field. So a first full start has been called because not everyone was into formation at the right time. So now it's this opportunity for these drivers to gather themselves, still themselves, get themselves ready for racing. It's the penultimate race. We've had 18 yesterday, we have 10 today, a total of 28 races over the course of the weekend. 145 drivers from 22 different nations have ventured here, and the top 36 drivers out of 49 seniors, so 13 drivers were unable to make it to the top 36 stages of this weekend. However, the completely saturated surface of the tarmac is going to prove to be tricky. So you are going to expect the likes of Ridders, Horst, Butcher, Kimber, Lee, Mega, and quite a few of the field will have experience in these wet weather conditions. Some might not, and that could be to their disadvantage. Drivers now being told to slow as we get into formation for the second time of asking. Red lights ignited on the starting gantry for the penultimate time this race weekend. Brandon Klein-Nagelvort watching home saying big P1 for the lads. I know exactly who he's talking about, but we're going to find out in the next 15 minutes who is going to win the senior Rotax final. Into the tram lines. Are we ready? Revs rise. Are we steady? We are lights out and underway. Good start by Gilles. Good start by Butcher. Devian Horst has lost at least 3 to 4 places as the spray is absolutely terrible. Going through into turn 2 for the opening time. Drivers wrestling with the steering wheel. Butcher sideways on the exit at turn number 3. They still are trying to make it through. It's not been an easy one. As the 931 goes off the circuit, I believe that that was the 901. 931, Patrick Donica. Oh, Elia Papasena just went back axle up into the air, coming out of turn number 5. One driver's pulling over to the right and has said, well, I think might have just decided that was enough for me. Lauren Legault has actually taken part in this race. We've got yellow flags waving. And Hillets is still leading. Green flags going into turn number 10. Butcher is second at the moment. Oh, it's three abreast. Some are trying to go rally crossing. Gilbert was nearly one of them. One of the DHR carts might have been either Miska Kaskinen or Kai Hunter. Going wide out of turn number 12. Sean Butcher going a little bit wide into turn 1. Nearly had Mark Kimber through the opening part of turn 1 up the inside of him. But Butcher is hanging on. Meanwhile, at the back, a little bit further back, Ethan Jeff Hall. I think it's, well, it is Ethan Jeff Hall. He's trying to get one up on Vic Stevens. Stevens to the outside, Jeff Hall to the inside, through turn 5, and Jeff Hall gets through for 5th. Miska Kaskinen has been on a little bit of a fly at the moment. He's 8th at the minute. Oh, that was threading the eye of the needle through turn 7, of all people, by Mark Kimber. And he's managed to get through on Sean Butcher. Butcher ran wide through the halfway point of turn 7. And Kimber saw the gap between him and Austin Lee and went for it. And it paid off. Oh, no, it didn't. Well, no, that's Kai Rilletz. Has Rilletz had a bit of a stumble? Butcher's now looking to the inside of him. Rilletz defends. And Kimber's got the run. And Kimber's now going to go toe-to-toe with Rilletz for the race lead coming over the hill. And it's nearly 3 wide across the start-finish line. Rilletz, is he going to keep the lead? No, he's not. He's 3rd. Now he sweeps to the inside. Switchback of absolute epic proportions. 2 wheels on the grass. Austin Lee goes through, takes the race lead. Rilletz drifts wide. Ethan Jeff Hall there in P5. Oh, my goodness. Maxence Bouvier was the one that pulled off to the right-hand side. Patrick Donica looks to be out of the race itself. Well, would you believe that? The most epic of switchbacks I've ever seen. Now, Kai Hillertz has got to be very, very careful. There is a little bit of risk versus reward in this particular situation. However, he wants to protect his clean sweep from this weekend. More importantly, it is on home soil. Right, change for second. So Butcher has dropped to 3rd place. And everyone else seems to be closing up on each other. There's Kai Hunter I've just seen going through turn 13. Oh, and someone's had a little bit of an off-track excursion. That is the 308 that has gone off the circuit. Jules Roussel, who started 8th. And in the meantime, there is a little bit of a scrap going up. Now, Austin Lee is leading by 1.3 seconds. Mark Kimmer in 2nd, Sean Butcher 3rd. 4th is Ethan Jeff Hall. Kai Rilletz, who's had a clean sweep up until this point, rounds out the top 5. But also it depends for Rilletz on what happens with the top 4 in front. If they start battling and the spray gets really, really bad, I've known Rilletz before to be really, really good in the wet, but he's just got to be very, very careful. So the drivers in front of him, they're bumping over the curbs through turn 11 to rotate everything. So 33 runners and riders still circulating. And Austin Lee has just lost. Oh, he's just lost a second of his race lead. Kimber's getting very, very close to him. Top 5 rounded out by Kai Hillertz with Mark Kimber in 2nd. Ethan Jeff Hall in 3rd. Sean Butcher in 4th. Hillertz in 5th. They're covered by 2.1 seconds after 4 laps. 8 minutes and 37 seconds still to go, plus an additional lap. A little bit of toing and throwing a little bit further back. I think that might be Farin Mega, who is battling away with Probably the likes of Robbie Stodder and Mitch Haynett. So 6 minutes down, 8 to go. Last time around, the top 5 were covered by 2.1 seconds. Oh, what's happened to Sean Butcher all of a sudden? Right, so that's a little bit of a drama for the defending champion. Now, where is he? He's 4th now. Willis has dropped to 6 behind Kai Hunter. Lewis Gilbert now in 7th, not too far behind them. They've just got to be very, very careful. Lap times are on a 1 minute 30, anywhere between a low 1 minute 13 to a 1 minute 15. Oh, Lewis Gilbert and Kai Rillet's getting a bit too close for comfort. Rubbing sidewalls through and a turn number 4. And oh, they've both gone off the circuit. Oh my goodness me, Kai Rillet and Lewis Gilbert both going off the circuit at turn number 5. Kai Hunter now closing in on Sean Butcher. Mark Kimber now leading the way, nearly 9/10 up the road. But at the minute, it is a strawberry 1-2-3 lockout. Ethan Jeff Hall now up into P2. Austin Lee in 3rd. Kai Hunter and Sean Butcher squabbling over 4th with the 3.95 from Sunderland in front at the minute. Now Mark Kimber's lead is 1.35 seconds. Kai Rillet at the moment has recovered to finish in, well, being 7th. He's got Matthew Higgins up the inside of him. Now Lewis Gilbert is there as well. They've just had a slight tangle coming out of turn 4 and into turn 5. Lewis Gilbert again looking towards the inside. Tries to get the run on Rillet, heading into turn number 5 on this particular occasion, but the 374 from Belgium. Oh, he's gone straight on! What on earth has just happened there? Has it happened again? Has Kai Rillet had a massive brake issue? That is the only thing that I can see that might have happened. So for some strange reason, Rillet and Gilbert went straight on again. Now, I'm not too sure what happened here. I'm looking back at what's been going on, and there was no possibility of Kai Rillet to slow down. So I'm not too sure if he was assisted, but at this particular moment, that just goes to show again the weather conditions has caught everybody out. Rillet is still apparently Rillet is still running in 7th. Tommy van der Sooy is now up into 6th. Lewis Gilbert down into 10th position. Now, Kai Rillet might not have had any alternative. I did not see, from what I saw on the camera angles, I could not see any contact between Kai Rillet and Lewis Gilbert. So I could only see what you people see at home. Sebastian Bach has dropped all the way down to 32nd position. We still have 4 minutes and 20 seconds on the timer remaining. Mark Kimber leading the way. Ethan Jeff Hall 2nd. Kai Hunter 3rd. Austin Lee in 4th. Sean Butcher, Tommy van der Sooy, Kai Rillet, Matthew Higgins, Vic Stevens and Lewis Gilbert rounding out the top 10. Rillet in the meantime has put in the fastest lap of the race. 1 minute 12.543. But there is a bit of a gap. Now, I'm wondering, Kai Rillet is dropping down the order as we've got more dramas. That was Jaden Thien versus Vic Stevens for 9th position. I think that could be the case that Kai Rillet is no longer participating in this race. The clean sweep has been unfortunately broken. Sebastian Bach is going to be out of the race And it looks to be the same for Kai Hillertz. Lewis Gilbert has got a 5-second time penalty for going out of the tram lines with all 4 wheels. So has Jules Roussel. 3.97. Ethan Jeff Hall, 3-second time penalty, leaving the corridor with 2 wheels out of the tram lines. 3.78. William Christensen, along with the 9.05 of Nolan Emery. They were all found to be 2 wheels out of the tram lines, and I think that's a real shame for Kai Hillertz. He is out, and the clean sweep has been broken. Elliot Papacena in the meantime, trying to get through and gets past on the inside of William Christensen, going onto the start-finish straight. 2.5 minutes still to go. Yep, that's it. Hilletz's race is over. As through, there's Lachlan Robinson. He's now up into 15th. He's got through on Miska Kaskinen, make that 14th. Can Robinson, well, Robinson's got an opportunity for a top 10. Now, for those that wonder, well, Lachlan Robinson's formative years in karting were in the UAE. I have to give a shout out to Guy Sheffield and the team at the team over in the UAE at Al Ain Raceway. Lachlan Robinson's first real test under wet weather conditions was the 2020 Rotax Max Challenge International Trophy at Portimao. And now he's taken to it like a duck to water. He's really giving good chase of one of the French drivers. That's Nolan Lemeray in the 905. Oh, spinner there, and we've had another one off. That is the 356. That is Matteo Pianizzola. That's a bit cheeky there. Could have spun the cart the other way, Matteo, I think. So, retirements, lap 7, Kai Hillertz, lap 6, Sebastian Bach, lap 1, Patrick Donica and Maxence Bouvier didn't even make it past 3 seconds on the opening lap. And, well, Kai Hillertz gets a 5-second time penalty for pushing, as decided by race control. Coming up to the final minutes of this senior Rotax final. Kimber leads. Ethan Jeff Hall at the moment. He has to pull another second out of the bag to keep his second position at the moment. Let's not forget he's got a 3-second time penalty for 2 wheels out of the tram lines as all. Oh, dearie me, they're pirouetting now. That is the 378 William Christensen around at turn 7. Pointing towards the curb, not going over the curb, I'm afraid. I think just launched in a bit too late under the brakes. And locked the back axle, spun him around like a good one. And there he was, pointing at the curb. Nassau panel first. Jules Roussel has also pulled it into the pits as the time now comes down to 0 and it expires. So lap 12 out of 13, Mark Kimber has a lead of 1 3/4 seconds at this moment. Yes, Roger, I wonder how many times you've probably said, I'll drink a shot if I... Roger Young saying, I knew the rain would favour the UK lads. Well, you've got to consider the Belgians as well. Let's not forget, karting gang, when it rains there, it pours. But good to hear from you, buddy. Right, Lachlan Robinson now has made his way from, where did he start? Lachlan Robinson, 29th, 16 places gained. It could be 17 by the checkered, as the timer has officially expired. And, oh, we got another one off. Another one bites the dust, I'm afraid. So we'll find out who that is momentarily. As the 904, that is Paul Forquemin through on Miska Kaskinen. And there is your race leader, Mark Kimber, 3 times a Grand Finals champion as a junior, senior and DD2 driver. He came into the championship, into this round of the season, leading the way by a mere fraction. His closest competitor is in 4th. That's Sean Butcher as the final lap is underway. And Kimber has kept his head cool, whilst others have lost theirs a little bit on the way. So just a handful of corners remain. And what's more, it's going to be a British top four, but it's going to be more importantly, if it stays like it is now, it won't be a strawberry 1-2. It'll be a strawberry 1-2 on the road. But Mark Kimber powers up the hill for the final time. And the 3:02 from Solihull takes the final. And he celebrates. Winning by a comfortable margin, 2.3 seconds. Ethan Jeffhall, second on the road. But it's going to be second for Kai Hunter provisionally at this stage. Sean Butcher might be on the third step of the rostrum. It's going to be close. I'm just calculating it at the moment. It's tight. It might be that Ethan Jeffhall might or might not even keep third. Sean Butcher fourth, Austin Lee fifth, Tommy van der Stoys, Matthew Higgins, Lewis Gilbert and Jaden Thien round out the top 9. Elia Papacena, top 10 finish for the Italian. Ahead of Vic Stevens, Nolan Lemaray, Lockie Robinson from 29th to 13th after a difficult weekend here at Karting Defan. Paul Forquemin, Miska Kaskinen, William Christensen, Dion van Verven, Archie Walker from the back of the grid to finish 18th. Well done to the young man from Billericay. Devian Horst, Fahin Mega, Matis Turlo, Matteo Pianizola, Lauren Legore, Montego Masson, Mitch Haynett, James Swindells, Paul Crisel and Magic Hamera round out the 28 that completed all 13 laps. With the lap to go, we lost Robbie Stodder and Kamal Mrad. Jules Roussel on lap 9, Kai Hulitz on lap 7, lap 6, Sebastian Bach, Patrick Donica on lap 1, Maxence Bouvier on the opening lap, and Zombor Kovac, due to a slight rib injury, opted not to take part.